Thank you. Welcome, everyone, to the Tuesday, January 2nd, 2024 Board of Supervisors Organizational Meeting. With that, I would ask that those of you who are able rise and join with me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Thank you. So this is kind of tricky. So I'm going to say, John, are you here?
Present.
James, are you here?
am.
Does it matter if Dan's here? Is Dan here or is Dan not here? Dan, are you here?
Very philosophical question, but
I-
I feel like I am.
Well, I'm not sure. Is he currently a supervisor? Because I think we're about to.
Yeah, yes, he is, yes.
Change all of that, right?
Renew
So,
it.
He hasn't been sworn out.
and then am I supposed to say, is Colin here? It's very confusing. Colin is here. So with that, we're going to do a very slow walk. Dan, if you would do a slow walk to get sworn in, be wonderful.
Go ahead, Jim.
Dun, 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 dun.
Judge Gilman is here. He did swearing-ins this morning and in between then and now, he also had several responsibilities in the courthouse with Justice Center. So I would note that we're honored to have Judge Gilman here tonight. He is a longtime Lower Makefield resident, community member, former baseball coach. So we appreciate him being here again for this event. So. Thank you.
Do you take over now, Dave? Because I'm happy to have you take over. When do you want to?
Only after the swearing in of Supervisor Grenier, Supervisor-elect Ross, and Mr. Anderson.
Okay,
And I'm only in very briefly.
okay. I'm happy to share the mic.
We had a recommended daily allowance of University of Pennsylvania people now. Yeah, people tell me it's an accredited university and I believe them. What is that?
That'll do it.
And Dan, that's the town code?
Since we're supposed to slow walk it, I do have just a comment that I made this morning at the swearing in of the countywide swearing in. And if any of you were there, I apologize for repeating it. I know David was, but I was looking around the room and honestly, this just struck me that this is the way democracy is supposed to look. And I know it may sound trite, but I feel that way. And I feel that way even at our local level. And I hope that 2024 is the year of democracy and that our institutions prevail and we're proud of our country. And it starts right here in our own township. So that's my comment. So, we ready to take the oath? Okay, Dan, so please repeat after me and raise your right hand. I, Daniel Grenier,
I, Daniel Grenier,
sorry,
That's okay.
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth,
and the Constitution
and that I will discharge the duties of my office of Township Supervisor
and I will discharge the duties of office of Township
in Lower Makefield Township, Bucks County,
in Lower
with fidelity. Congratulations, sir. Ready to go, man? You can't do that. Okay. My comment is here about Matt is that I hope that he doesn't believe in manifest destiny, which we might remember from our youth about keep moving west so that he's the supervisor in every municipality in the country. So,
No, I don't have that in.
okay, very good. Having said that, are you ready to take the oath?
I'm ready.
Okay, so please raise your right hand as you've done and repeat after me. I, Matthew Ross,
I, Matthew Ross,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and that I will discharge the duties of my office as Township Supervisor in Lower Makefield Township with fidelity. Congratulations.
Now I can say, Matt, are you here?
Here.
Excellent. Kyle, can you please join us?
Is there any comments that you want to make?
Happy to serve my country.
Okay, very good. All right, so you're ready to take the oath of office, sir? All right, so please repeat after me and raise your right hand. I, Kyle Anderson,
I, Kyle Anderson,
do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support, obey, and defend
support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America
the Constitution of America
and of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge the duties of my office
discharge the duties of my office
as Township Supervisor in Lower Makefield Township.
as Township Auditor.
Auditor, I apologize. It says Supervisor on here. Okay, I apologize. I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus. So as Township Auditor, okay,
Auditor
okay. In Lower Makefield Township
in Lower Makefield Township
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I wasn't sure just if Dave wanted to, they'd like to get some photos. Do you want us to do a photo op now? Okay, yeah.
Pretend you like each other. Now look at me.
So we're just waiting to get one of the documents that's necessary corrected, or we could have 6 supervisors. Not you. You pull it close to you, and then if you're Dan, you move like this.
Okay, the agenda now calls for the election of the chair, the Board of Supervisors with the president, chair pro tem, acting, that will be me for a very brief period of time. So this time, with the newly assembled Board of Supervisors, I'll accept a nomination for the chair of the Board of Supervisors for 2024.
I'd like to nominate John Lewis as for Chair of the Board of Supervisors for 2024.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion by Supervisor Grenier, second by Supervisor Ross. All those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing none, congratulations. You are now the chair of the Board of Supervisors.
Split second.
Oh.
I'd like to thank my fellow supervisors and the community for entrusting me with this opportunity to serve our great township. I don't have a lot of prepared remarks today, given the advanced hour, but Lower Makefield has some important challenges to address in the upcoming year. It is a wonderful, vibrant, great place to live, one that we can all be a part of, proud to be a part of. And as supervisors, we're tasked with the general governance of the township and the execution of legislative, executive, administrative powers to ensure sound fiscal management and ensure the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens of Lower Makefield. As your chair, our work this year should be to resolve the following. First, we have a significant opportunity to improve public engagement and transparency of township policy decisions and operations. To that end, hopefully we'll be moving public comment at the beginning, front of the meetings. I'm also hopeful that we can build a consistent communications plan with the community so that residents are informed of what's happening and how we spend the money that we take from them in taxes each year. We want to make sure that they have a good engagement with the community going forward. The second, residents should expect that we're going to continue to work aggressively on infrastructure issues, most notably stormwater management. The July 15th flooding was a challenge to the township to properly address the Maple Vale community, their stormwater issues, and now we know that we need to resolve that issue and improve resiliency throughout the township to protect residents from future events, as well as continue our investments in roads and bike paths as well. Third, we've done a lot of work collectively as a board. I would certainly give kudos to Supervisor Blundy, who helped with the ad hoc property committee and get that off the ground. We're now at a point where we can start to do the implementation to resolve issues related to Patterson Farm, and we should make sure that we execute that plan effectively. We'll need everybody on all hands on board to do that. And finally, we may see some significant land development plans in the coming year. To that end, it's important to remember that property owners have well-defined rights and protections under state law. However, where we can, we will work aggressively to ensure that developers pay their development fees in full, follow rigorously our ordinances, and do not leave potential costs for future residents to deal with. Additionally, we'll be looking at opportunities to modernize our land development processes and ordinances to adopt best practices and protect residents. So I thank you once again for this opportunity, and I look forward to serving you in the coming year. Moving on to agenda item 9, election of other officers. 9A, consider selecting a vice chair to the Board of Supervisors.
I'd like to nominate Dan Grenier.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations, Dan. Item B, consider selecting a secretary of the Board of Supervisors for 2024.
To nominate Suzanne Blundy for secretary?
Second.
Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Is it possible we can get it renamed? Just kidding. It's my honor to be a secretary.
I only ever call you Suzanne. I don't know.
Moving on to agenda item C, selecting a treasurer of the Board of Supervisors for 2024.
I'd like to nominate Matt Ross for treasurer of the board.
Second.
All those in favor of Matt Ross for treasurer for Board of Supervisors, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. This one is item D, consider selecting an assistant secretary treasurer for 2024. As is customary, the township manager serves in that role.
Second.
I'll do it official. I'll nominate Township Manager David Kratzer in this role.
Second.
All those in favor of David Kratzer as assistant secretary treasurer for 2024 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Awesome. Moving on to item 10, consider reappointment of David W. Kratzer Jr. as township manager and authorize execution of an employment agreement between Kratzer and the township.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions, comments? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you so much.
Stuck with us for another year.
Or two. Yeah.
Happy to be.
Excuse me. Agenda item 11, appoint chair of the vacancy board.
I'd like to appoint Adrian Costello to the vacancy board.
Okay.
Any questions, comments? Ready? All those in favor of Adrian Costello as the chair of the vacancy board signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Item 12, professional services. Consider appointment of solicitor for 2024.
I'd like to nominate Hill Wallach.
Second.
Awesome. All those in favor of selecting Hill Wallach as solicitor for 2024 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? 2. Let the record reflect Supervisor Grenier and Supervisor Lewis abstained. Item B, consider appointment of engineers for 2024. First township engineer.
I'd like to nominate Remington Vernick as the township engineer.
All those in favor, any discussion? All those in favor of Remington Burnick Engineers for Township Engineer for 2024 signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
Abstain?
I guess I'll go in the nay column.
Okay. Sewer engineer?
I don't want.
Yeah, we still do.
Yeah, and just to provide some context on this, there are some remaining sort of capital items, small stuff that remains outstanding that were commenced prior to the sale of the sewer system. And then there is also the issue relative to the special study that we've discussed previously to be completed so that the permit can be transferred as well. So it is, yes.
It's something we have to have.
To close those items out, I would recommend that yes, that we would have somebody in the capacity to
Answer's
do
yes.
that. Again, that's not suggesting that there's not other firms that are capable of providing that service. The question is, whether that transition makes sense at this point, given the remaining items.
How much longer do we have on the remaining items?
It should be completed, I would hope, within the first half of the year, based on what has been, communicated to me at this point.
To that end, I know we usually have this conversation afterwards, but to that end, the last remaining issue has been outstanding for a while now. So
Yeah.
how confident are we that it's going to be that fast?
I'm hopeful, is what I would say at this point.
Can we, I guess, appoint with a timeline, like some kind of-
You could appoint someone and remove them next meeting.
You could,
They
yeah,
serve-
absolutely. They serve at the
Yeah.
pleasure of the board.
Okay. Well, for the sake of moving things along, I'll nominate, I believe it was Fred Ebert, is that correct?
Ebert
Yeah,
Engineering.
Ebert Engineering, yes.
Second,
Okay, any questions, comments? All those in favor of Ebert Engineering for sewer engineer signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Traffic engineer? Oh, opposed? Okay, sorry. Traffic engineer?
I nominate Safe Engineering.
Second.
Any questions, comments? Okay, with that, call the question. All those in favor of safe highway engineering for traffic engineer for 2024 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Okay. Public comment, is there any public comment at this time? Please come before, line up and, not seeing anybody. That makes it easier.
Gonna
No.
check the line.
Huh? Is there anybody online?
There's no public comment online.
Okay, excellent. So no one online, no one in the house. We'll move on to other business. Item 14, the PSATS liaison to the conference. Have we decided who our lucky contestant / victim is?
I thought I heard both James and Matt wanting to desperately attend. That's what I thought I heard.
I'm the new guy, so I'll take one for the team. That's fine.
James,
So moved?
did you include yourself in that, James?
I don't know. Since Matt's so eager to do it, I think that Matt should have the privilege. I think sending two people could be cost effective.
Is there a second for Matt?
Second.
Anyone else? Questions, comments? With that, all those in favor of sending Matt Ross to Hershey for the PSATS conference in April of 2024 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Just as a heads up on this item, Matt, as soon as you can, as in like tomorrow morning, book the hotel because it sells out instantly. And you'll end up being in a really small dingy hotel very far from the location and it's not as much fun.
Ooh.
Not that I know. Anything.
So Matt, we're happy to help with that tomorrow if that works.
I'll just say I was in the nice hotel.
With that, pardon me, excuse me. I'd like to announce the supervisor liaison assignments for 2024. The ad hoc property committee is Dan. The Board of Auditors is myself. Citizens Traffic Commission, Disability Advisory Board are Supervisor Ross. I will have the Electric Reliability Committee. Supervisor Grenier will have the Electronic Media Advisory Committee. I will have the Emergency Management Committee. Supervisor Ross will have the Environmental Advisory Council. Supervisor Grenier will have Farmland Preservation, Inc. Supervisor Blundy will have the Golf Committee. Supervisor McCartney will have the Historical Architectural Review Board. Supervisor Blundy will have the Historical Commission. Supervisor Ross will have the Parks and Recreation Board. I will handle the Planning Commission. Supervisor McCartney will have Special Events Committee. Supervisor Blundy will have Trenton Mercer Airport Review Panel. And Supervisor McCartney will have the Veterans Committee. Supervisor Grenier will have the Zoning Hearing Board. And Supervisor McCartney will have the Seniors. Moving on to item 16, which is consider establishing the amount of the treasurer's bond at $2 million.
So moved.
Second?
Any comments, questions? Any from the audience or online? Okay. With that, all those in favor of the motion, state signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item 17, consider establishing the amount of the assistant treasurer's bond at $2 million.
So moved.
Second?
Any comments, questions, concerned by members of the board, community? Okay. With that, I'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, with that, meeting's adjourned.